Grawrr, Trexless here. Extracurricular Activities is a furry dating game created by Dianna. The game takes place at Chesthaven University with the player taking part in a school tennis team. The game was created in March 2015 and launched on September 21st, 2015, with Cursemark being the artist for the visual novel. Later in March 2018, Cursemark left Extracurricular Activities and Dianna chose Captain Grawrr, who had already been creating games, to join the project. Grawrr also joined the project around 1.5 update as the background artist. Some other people who helped Dianna along the way were Mr. Mark, Reganorith, Stafford the Wolf, Mass Mino, Bacon King, etc. The music being used is royalty-free music with its own few soundtracks. The tracks aren't that great, but it fits the setting pretty well. The artwork is really well done, other than the title screen being a tad bit scary. So let's start off the game and create our own character. Sadly, you can't be anything but a human, but I have my ways, Grawrr. The game starts you right away by introducing you to your 5 teammates: Coach Griff, Chester, Spencer, Dozer, and Darius. The game is quick to explain that you live in a homeless shelter for quite a while and have not told any of your friends about this. Oh, that's my phone. Give me a second, Grawrr.
Get your butt over to practice.
Coach Harold is an English professor, teacher, and tennis coach of Chesthaven University. He may look like a mean bear, but he is actually pretty nice. Sometimes he gets traumatized over the mildest of situations. He enjoys writing in his free time, and boy, does he sure love to eat. I feel like his whole route is just about eating every day. When coming to class, you end up staying there to finish up your homework and take a nap because your last class was canceled. Only to your surprise that the old bear has some pretty interesting things to talk about. Coach talks about his first book being published as you're very interested in wanting to buy one yourself. To your surprise, Coach hands you one for free as he appreciates the thought of you wanting to buy his book.
Also, if you don't mind, could you spread the word about my book?
Sure thing, Harold. But in return, he wants you to visit him at his book signing. Being the nice guy that you are, you agree with Coach's terms and make his day. He then requests you to come with him Friday to his favorite buffet. Once next week starts off, the team notice that Coach has been gone missing from class and practice twice in a row.
Hey Drox, you won't mind if I drop you off over by Coach's house to check up on him, would you?
Yeah, sure, I can go check on him, Spence.
Hey guys, can I come?
No!
Wow.
Can I come?
Okay, fine. Getting dropped off by Spencer, you enter Harold's house to check up on him. Making your way towards the living room, and you notice Harold suffering over his broken marriage. You work with him to build a strong relationship, helping to clean up his yard, putting away old pictures around the house, and tidy up the place. Once everything's done, you and Coach plan out a barbecue for your teammates to help bring new memories. After this, Coach will begin driving you around to help you get to practice and class. During the end of the week, you win your first tennis game, and Coach later takes the team out for a celebration dinner. Soon, driving back to Harold's house, Harold's ex-wife returns. She ends up coming to campus trying to manipulate Harold for sexual desires. She will then come to the player and hit you over the face and fall backwards, screaming out that you hit her. Though luckily Spence was watching the scene play out along with other students that helped pin her down till security escorted her out. Harold and you then decide to set up security cameras and inform the authorities about her actions after she broke into Harold's house. Later on, she goes to tell the school deans that Harold is having an affair with one of his students. While Harold is at school trying to fix the problem, Dianna comes bursting through Harold's French sliding doors as you just walk past them.
Here's Dianna. Ooh.
What in a blue moon? Back off, you crazy plummet!
Away from me, you bigot!
What the heck are you even saying?
On top of you. Ooh.
Well, this game went from a 1 to a 10 real fast. So before she gets the chance to try and stab you, the police save you just in time and take the psychopath away as you explain to the officer about her explaining the issue of you dating your professor, which gets fixed up and gets used against Dianna as things return to normal. You then later play D&D with your teammates and have the grill barbecue party before the chapter ends. Just by looking at Dozier, you can tell he's a real bodybuilder, but he mostly stays quiet, which makes it hard to understand him sometimes. When meeting Dozer in the gym, you become his spotter, along with Chester doing things like getting your workout routine done. Later on, you find out that Dozer is really concerned about other people's safety. If there is a minor injury to the team or other players, he will always be there to help. While playing on the tennis court, you end up jamming your finger, and once more again in class, where you're forced to be sent to the school's medical room. From there, you end up finding Dozer working there and tending to your wounds as he explains that he is going for a medical degree. Now Dozier is a pretty polite beast, but the player needs to take caution of Dozier's anger issues. After your tennis practice with Dozier, you begin to meet him regularly for homework studies and pick up on Dozier's hobbies around the house, like taking care of plants, especially his bonsai tree. He even takes you out to Japantown. He enjoys the gardens there, the tasty Asian food, and the giant monsters Grawrr. Later on, you become closer friends with Dozier and go to the gym regularly. He talks about his past life, mentioning his best friend Harvey, who is a husky just like Spencer. Later on, you notice a scar on Dozier's neck and decide to question him about it. He explains that he got the scar from a school bombing attack when he rushed towards Harvey to cover from him from falling debris. Dozier and Harvey soon began dating around that time, but later broke up due to a certain situation with Dozier that the player will find out later on. But Harvey wanted to see the best for Dozier and pushed him to find a new boyfriend. So what better way to do this than to go on a date with Dozier? Going to his favorite places like the gardens, delicious foods, and checking out the temple. And afterwards, we went to the mall with crowded people. Wait a minute, mall? No, get your dirty paws off me. Somebody's got my tail. Someone's got my wing.
So, did you enjoy your day trips?
After the mall, Dozier takes you out stargazing and lays a blanket out right next to a tree, bringing his arms around you as well as his warmth as you gaze upon watching the stars. Totally a true man. Now the story mostly stays within Dozier's house as well as going to the gym multiple times. There's also a tornado that knocks out the power, so you're stuck with Dozier most of the time. The route is very chill and relaxing and keeps you wanting to know more about Dozier's background without too much coming to bother you, though it lacks some excitement compared to the other characters.
Hey, IFS are pretty interested in my route.
And your size. Chester is a clumsy bull who enjoys playing video games, anime, cooking, and going to conventions with his positive attitude, but he's pretty hot-headed and quick to strike first. Chester also has a job working at a game arcade down the road from the school called Critical Strike. It's a pretty cool place. I mean, look over there, it's DDR. I was super good at this when I was a kid.
Hey Drox, do you want to come hang out with me after the tennis game? We could totally do a sleepover.
Hell yeah, Chester, it sounds like fun. Once winning your first tennis match with Chester, and with Saturday right around the corner, you decide to head to the store and pick up a cake and some food before visiting Chester's place to play some magic game card whatever. Once you have dinner with Chester, he decides to set up your first magic card deck. I'm not too sure how these kind of card games are played, or how they even work. But he said a lot of stuff, and I just kind of got lost in thought.
Hey, Drox, are you even listening?
Yeah, I've already beaten you already.
What? How did that happen?
Later, Chester's roommate or brother comes in after a long day of work and greets you before you and Chester head off to the bedroom. Once waking up in the morning, you find yourself waking up to the smell of breakfast as Chester is cooking in the kitchen. After eating, you enjoy some game time with Chester and notice a receipt next to his bed dresser that has last night's ingredients on it, as well as a few bad dragon orders he may have purchased for reasons. Hey, Chester, why did you buy this?
The fervor enters the story.
Down the road, Chester takes the time to teach you how to cook along with his backstory of being in a football team and issues he had during the past. Once that is out of the way, he invites you to a convention that he planned months ago, but his friend was unable to come. He seems pretty excited to bring you along for the ride for free, being his boyfriend and all now, and getting to see his first cosplay costume. So once getting to the convention and getting your hotel room, you guys have a blast. Chester goes to winning his first tournament match for that strange card game, and to celebrate, Chester takes you to the wonderful bathhouse at the end of the day before leaving the con and going back home. As the school days come and school days end, Vernon, a football player, tries to get under Chester's skin. Luckily, you pull Chester away from the problem and go on with life as Chester soon helps you get a job at Critical Strike. Mr. Berkeley, the manager of Critical Strike, knew about your last job and the business shutting down and that you had management skills. He didn't hesitate to hire you on the spot as manager to get things organized and running smoothly. As time went by, you built a strong relationship with Chester's roommate or brother. While staying on top of your schoolwork and winning your tennis game tournaments with your team, you begin to head back home on your bike that Maria, the owner of the homeless shelter, and Richard, a friend of Maria, got for you. When suddenly a football comes smashing into you, causing you to fall off your bike and into the ground. This is followed up by then getting kidnapped by two of Vernon's friends. Luckily, Vernon's friends make a stand and to let you free and report the incident. Other than this, you plan on moving in with Chester and his brother. Darius is another one of your teammates and classmates. He's a bit on the pervy side and takes every chance he can get to make a lewd joke.
Hey, Drux. Do you need a ride home? Here, catch.
Oof.
Get on. And if you want, I could take you out for lunch later tomorrow.
Oh sure, sounds like fun, Darius, thanks. When getting lunch with Darius, you find out that he works as a stunt double, and he is quick to invite you into one of the sets where he works, making commercials or films. Darius will introduce you to a lot of new characters around the city and use his charismatic attitude to get people to do what he wants while barely building a relationship with anyone. During the day, Darius drives you to a mechanic shop to have his motorcycle checked on. The mechanic, Azaghal, is Darius' personal mechanic, and he will only let Azaghal check out his bike in fear of it being tampered with by another employee. Later on, Spence gets very worried about you hanging out with Darius all the time and not him. But you plan to make time with Spence on Saturday, and Darius takes you out clothes shopping to a place called Minor, which is a clothing store that his family runs. Darius used to live with his grandmother, who taught Darius how to play the piano extremely well before passing away. Darius soon finds out where you live and invites you to the studio again, and this time you bring Maria with you along with some real stunts he's gonna do. But tragedy soon strikes when he injures himself badly in a stunt and is sent to the hospital. Since Darius has no friends or family that really care about him, only you, Maria, and Spence come to visit him. Once Darius is healed up, he finally starts to change his relationship with people and starts becoming more friendly to Spencer. Anyways, the rest of the route is very entertaining, and the end of it is just kind of a continue screen with Spencer getting upset with you hanging out with Darius. The main villain of Darius' story is his shower. No, I'm serious. His shower plays music and flashes LED lights. I bet his toilet also plays music and flashes LED lights. Like why? Why is that necessary? How long does it take you to sit on a toilet before it needs to start flashing colors? Darius, I think something's wrong with your sink.
Oh no. It just plays music. And flashes colors.
Hey, Drux, what you up to?
Oh, nothing. Just working on my editing skills.
Cool. I'm heading out now.
Sure thing, Spence. Spencer is one of those A+ students with high honors who really likes studying, but he is a good friend to the player since childhood. After practice, the two of you decide to hang out more often as the days go by. You win your first double tennis match and plan an event for a small business restaurant. This helps the restaurant gain more revenue, and later on it strikes you a job there. When Spence starts dropping you off, he gets very concerned why you have to be dropped off at the construction site and not at your house with his pickup truck, being the reason you don't want your best friend knowing that you live at a homeless shelter. After a while though, you give in and tell Spencer where you live, and he is surprised to find out. While sitting in Spencer's truck, you notice his work schedule in the pickup truck. You decide to go visit the place, and to your surprise, you find Spencer. Or nickname, the White Thunder. The player soon walks closer to the pole thingy, and you notice Spencer collecting his money, and I don't know, I've never been to one of these things. Anyways, Spencer notices you and starts to make a break to the back room. Later on, he runs out to grab you and pulls you into the back room. After a good chat with Spencer, he is glad you accept him for what he is and what he does. When coming back to school, Darius decides to come to the player, and you come up with a plan to see if Spencer is overprotective over you. Darius doesn't go over the plan exactly, but he gets one of his friends to pin you against a locker wall, causing Spence to come over to save you. Once the stranger has left, Spencer shares his emotion about you and that he is a baguette. So what do best friends do once they find out they are baguettes? Date, of course. So you guys decide to pick a time and date to go out during the weekend to catch a movie. So during the week, you get to know Spencer better, and he takes you out to dancing classes and tries to put you in some pretty strange clothing that I'm not putting on, of course.
Come on, put it on.
Don't you even go there. No. Bad dog.
Fine, but what about in private?
Maybe. Once heading to the club again, you bump into the bartender, which is Bam.
Well, Bar. Looking for someone?
All right, enough screen time for you, big guy. Bam and you really only talk about what's going on in the club, like Spencer not showing off most of his stuff, Grawrr. He will most likely put a lewd comment here and there, but keeps himself pretty decent to make sure that the player does not feel uncomfortable. Once Thursday comes along, you and Spence go out to the park to stargaze. Like real men do, yeah. Ooh. Before heading back home and going to sleep. Oh, seriously? I have to go to work in the game too? Luckily, the work scenes cut very short because they are boring. Ugh, why is being an adult so hard? As life goes on, Spencer speaks to Maria about you moving in with him instead of living at the homeless shelter. Being too scared to ask the player, he went to Maria. And this is where Maria works her magic, and she speaks to you about moving in with Spencer, and she gets you to move in. Wow, what a surprise. So you finally get everything moved into Spencer's house on Saturday, but to your surprise, you have a lot of cleaning to do since this dog sheds like mad fire.
Hey, at least I put you up on my bed for some cuddles.
Dude, that doesn't make up the fact that there's hair all over the bed. While living together, you guys tried to push for some free time to spend time together. Either it be cooking food, brushing Spencer or washing his fur, playing video games till midnight, you get the picture.
Drox, brush me.
But I already brushed you.
Brush me again, please? I want the rubs.
Fine.
Oof.
At the end of the route, you go and watch Spence's first tennis tournament match, only to see him get hurt at the finals and having to leave the match. But at the end, you comfort Spencer and go over some plans about your future together. Grawrr! Thanks to all my patrons, I had a blast playing the game. Great work to you, Dianna Wolf, it was amazing. I encourage you guys to play the game, give it a try, must be 18 and older. Also, please thank Tillin for drawing the remodeled Drox, Office Jolly for reading over the script, and the voice actors, Loki, Flint, Canny, Pure, Kuma, Bam, and Ray. Thank you guys so much, Grawrr. Have a good one, guys, and also, which is your favorite character, guys? Grawrr, Grawrr. Tell me, Grawrr.